Hi there, Mark Jamin here, Medical Director for the Haywood County Health Department, and let's talk about this pandemic. In this video, let's talk about monoclonal antibody treatment. Is this what we've been waiting for? And please share this video with someone you care about. So you probably recall this as one treatment that President Trump received. And this week, buried underneath the promising news about vaccines, was the news also of the FDA granting emergency use authorization to Eli Lilly for their monoclonal antibody product. So what's the deal? Well, antibodies are part of our immune system. They attach to the virus and they keep it from getting into and infecting cells. Monoclonal antibodies are like the antibodies your own body makes in response to an infection, except they are manufactured synthetically in a lab from other antibodies. So first, understand that emergency use authorization may be granted before a drug or therapy or treatment is fully tested. There's usually some early suggestion that the treatment might be effective, but it is not proven. And if there's no good alternative available, and it's felt the possible benefit might be worth the potential harm, an EUA or emergency use authorization can be granted. So as we have talked about, effectiveness and safety are determined after phase 3 trials, where up to 30 to 60,000 participants are usually enrolled and studied. The preliminary data on monoclonal antibody therapy is an early peak during a phase 2 trial, with many fewer participants having been enrolled. And here's what it showed. 309 participants were given differing doses of the treatment. 156 were given placebo. And the findings showed that there was no difference in the amount of viral load after 11 days in any of the participants. But on a deeper look, there were fewer hospitalizations or emergency department visits at 28 days after treatment in those who got it. 3% versus 10%. So that looks pretty good. But if you look at the numbers, they're small. So 9 out of 309 in the treatment group, 16 out of 156 in the placebo group. Enough to be promising, but nowhere near enough to be confident. So if this pans out after the trials are completed, this would represent a small benefit overall. Certainly not a magic bullet and not a cure, but another small piece to add to other treatments, which to date have each had a small benefit. But altogether, these could add up into what could really be something beneficial. And this is often how we eventually figure out what to do. Just no way to know right now. Now, there are some side effects: nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, dizziness, headache, allergic reactions. But to be fair, we would need many, many more people treated to have any idea really about side effects. And there are some other issues as well. It must be given as an intravenous infusion, and it must be used early. In the study, within 3 days of receiving a positive test result, and within 10 days from beginning of symptoms starting. And in fact, the study showed that there was a worse outcome when this was given to people hospitalized or needing high-flow oxygen. And although it is approved for ages 12 and above, it will be aimed at those with the highest risk of deterioration, namely the elderly and those with multiple underlying health conditions. These products are really expensive and complex to manufacture. Eli Lilly has said they hope to have enough to treat 1 million people by year end. Of course, we've seen more than 1 million new cases in just the past 2 weeks in the United States. And there's also another company, Regeneron, which is also seeking EUA for its monoclonal antibody product. As of now, the way they're going to deal with this shortage is the federal government will determine where these will be allocated, just as was done with remdesivir. It will depend on the number of confirmed cases on a 7-day average in a state or region, and then it will be up to the state health departments where in the state these will be available. As of now, the company and the federal government agree there will be no charge for the medicine, but there can be a charge for administering the infusion. So the bottom line is this has to be given as an outpatient before people get sick enough to be hospitalized. It's not going to be a magic bullet, it's not going to be a cure, but possibly some benefit. Just not sure about the potential harms. And it could well become another potential tool available. There will be more to come, so pay attention to this for sure. So, I hope you can find it in your heart to act in ways that protect those you care about. It just so happens this also protects you and everyone else. And as we can see what's going on around the region and the country right now, we need that. So be well and be careful, especially right now.